Hey folks, hope y'all enjoyed my review of Chronicle, directed by Josh Trank and starring Alex Russell, Michael B. Jordan, and Dan DeHaan. And as y'all know, remember the mass profile pictures? Yeah. Now I do share my videos from my other channel. That's with the Batman Mask of Phantasm profile picture. But thank you guys again for the 153 subs today. I'm sorry I can't talk. Maybe I'm just a little tired and stuff, and I got work tomorrow. So I'm just gonna do one more review for tonight. We got things we'll do later, but remember this channel right here. Stay on this channel right here. Yeah. And as y'all know, if y'all been watching my channel, I've been doing a superhero marathon. I just keep saying it just because to remind you guys or anybody who's new to the channel that's watching. I've been doing a superhero marathon on my YouTube channel, and I've been doing what I call the 2010s era of superhero reviews. This is superhero movies that came out in the year 2010 to 2019, and I'm on the year 2012. I'm on my second movie here, and I did enjoy Crown Girl, but oh hell, I did not have a good time watching this movie. This is a 2012 movie, superhero film, that was a sequel to the 2000 film Ghost Rider, starring Nicolas Cage, reprising his role of Johnny Blaze, and that is Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Awful movie. I used to think this film was so bad, so good, but after rewatching again, this film sucks. It's terrible. I hate the way Ghost Rider looks. I hated this film. An absolute blast. I'm like, no. More like an absolute nightmare. The world's darkest hero rides again. Yeah, probably like three times in the movie. Not very much. Yeah. Now, the first Ghost Rider movie, I did review that. Now, that movie, I think it's okay. Honestly, I think that movie will grow on me more after watching this. Ghost Rider looks better. I still don't like Eva Mendes, though. And I don't like Blackheart as the villain. But at least Blackheart had more screen time and more to do. Sam Elliott was funny and kind of in it. But Sam Elliott you know, did decent. You know. Yeah, at least that movie had a story. You know. And one that I actually liked. And better music score and better action. Could have used more, but this action, no. And it was better shot too. But anyway, so I said Nicolas Cage respires his role. And again, happy birthday, Nicolas Cage. He's 61 today. Now, you can say this is a 2000 superhero film, but this film, it had its wide commercial release on February 7th, 2012 in 2D and 3D. Well, it was released February 17th here in 2012, February 17th, 2012, here in America, here in the United States. So that's why I count it. So for the production of the movie, the story picks up 8 years after the first film. You don't have to see the first film. You don't have to see the first film. It doesn't contact anything that happened in the first film. We're pretending to be that our audience hasn't seen the first, but we're pretending that our audience hasn't seen the first film, as if you took that same character with things ended up in the first film, and then picked up 8 years later. He's just in a much darker existential place. David Esquire. And David Esquire, the same guy who directed Blade Trinity. Now, Blade Trinity is rated R. Another problem I have with this movie, it's PG-13. It should have been rated R because Ghost Rider is an anti-hero. And you have David Esquire. Yeah, yeah, you did have some. Yeah, Blade Trinity was rated R, but you had a shitty villain. Wesley Snipes was like he didn't give a crap. The dialogue was terrible. I didn't care that he teamed up with the Night Stalkers. It was boring. It was lame. The CGI is terrible in that movie too. In this movie, and now you have David Square, who you have. Why did they bring him on here? I'll never know why. Oh, because he wrote the Batman Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah, but like I said about the Ghost Rider character himself, um, again he is Johnny Blaze. I never seen Marvel's Agents of Shield, but I think I've seen clips of Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider looks really good in those. Yeah, Johnny Blaze, he's Ghost Rider in the comics. He looks awesome here, by the way, in the comics. And he looked good in the first movie. Johnny Blaze, remember, is the son of Barton Blaze. He spent his early years. Johnny's mother walked out on Barton and Johnny and took the family's remaining two children, Barbara and Danny. Oh, okay. So it's a lot different. I'm not going to sit here and read all night. But it sounds interesting. It sounds like they did a lot different stuff in the comics than they did in the first movie. Yeah. I think our audience has seen it, David Esquire. This is why we're getting sequels. People have seen that first movie. We're not stupid. But development. A special prop, the Bagger 2-8, the land and the view of the world from 1978, I guess, used in the movie, whatever. Marvel producer Avi Arad announced that development Ghost Rider 2 at a press event in February 2007, and Avi Arad, I feel like he screwed this up too. You know, him and his ego. Peter Fonda had also expressed his desire to return as metaphors as the devil, but in early December, Nicolas Cage also expressed interest to return as the lead role as Ghost Rider. Shortly after another interview, he was on another. He went on a further to mention that he would enjoy seeing a darker story and just that the film could do with newly created villains. It was also rumored that the sequel would feature Danny Ketch, another Marvel character who took up the Ghost Rider mantle in the comics. In a September 2008 interview, Cage informed IGN that Columbia had taken meetings to start a sequel. Cage noted conversations about the story where Ghost Rider may end up in Europe on behalf of the church having story elements. February 2009, an online source stated Columbia Pictures had greenlit a sequel to Ghost Rider. Nicolas Cage was stated to respond to the lead role while the studio were in search of writers. David Scoria signed on to write the script for the sequel. Scoria spoke to MTV about the sequel, saying the story would have picked up 8 years after the events of the first one that he hopes to start filming by 2010. The budget for the movie was considerably lower than the first film. It cost him $57 million compared to the original film's $110 million price tag. Nicolas Cage returned to the role. Mark Neverly and Brian Taylor were confirmed to direct the film, with editor Brian Berger and cinematographer Brandon Trust reuniting with the directors from the Krang films. For his role, Cage painted his face black and white and wore black contact lenses on the eyes and sewed bits of ancient Egyptian artifacts to his leather jacket to channel the spirit of vengeance. To channel the spirit of vengeance. Taylor said the version of Ghost Rider was darker than the first film and will be raised in the miniseries Road to Damnation. Christopher Lambert underwent 3 months of sword training. Oh, for what? For nothing. Sword training my ass. I'm like, yeah, Christopher Lambert from yeah, he barely does anything in this movie. I'm gonna spoil it, so there'll be spoilers in this review, by the way. And he shaved his head for the role. Johnny Whitworth was cast as the villain Blackheart. Filming, Cage revealed shooting was to start in November. Even has not returned for the sequel. The film was shot, and thank God for that. At least that's one redeeming quality, I guess. In Turkey, the film started photography and exhibit Romney in November 2010, using mostly local talent. Principal photography on the film completed on January 24, 2011. The film was shot 2D and post production in 3D. 3 scenes were shot on set Romania and some other countries. Filming in Turkey took place in Akikuba, a country in Turkey with chimney topped rocky setting. The scene with the remote theater was filmed for the marketing of the movie. Of course, you had the trailer, you had TV spots for the movie. And I don't like the way the Hell Cycle looks in this movie. I'm sorry, I don't. It looks better than the first one. Yeah, I guess San Diego Comic Con maybe threw a trailer for the movie. Cage appeared on Saturday Night Live and heavily promoted the film in Europe, but he plays a secondary role to the film's effects, which one effect said that made the marketing campaign seem more like it was for a video game. Yeah. Directors Mark Niven and Brian Taylor discussed producing a third sequel, a third movie, and having someone else directed it. Niven said that Cage expressed interest in appearing in another Ghost Rider film. The film could have moved forward prior to the experimentation was a success. I know Nick wants to do it. He's very pumped about it. When Cage was asked about a possible third installment, he said that it could happen, but without his involvement, clarified that he was done with his role and expressed interest to see a female Ghost Rider in the film. I'm sorry about laughing at that. Man, it could be cool to see a female Ghost Rider. I'd rather have that. Yeah. Reverted back to the film rights to Ghost Rider reverted back to Marvel, and he was played by Robbie Keys and Agents of Shield. They were gonna make a series, but it didn't go forward. But this movie killed it. You know, the film experienced worst critical reception. Criticism being aimed towards the script, CGI, and performances, which I agree. It aims to be trashy fun, but ends up as a plain trash. You know, does. 210 said it was worse than the first Ghost Rider film. And once it makes the in my opinion it makes the first Ghost Rider look like a masterpiece. Now that movie has issues, but it's not garbage. It's not you know that awful. Yeah, it feels like it's trying to be dark and it's trying to be epic and it fails on every level. Cage appears to find his role as the second utterly silly, fun, and means to decent patient for all that much work. It was nominated for two Golden Raspberry Worst Actor for Nicolas Cage, also for King Justice and Worst Remake or Sequel. Didn't win it, but it deserved it. he called this film a dreadful mess, and a dishwasher door sequel to the Hell Shit Bad 2007 original. I wouldn't say that picture was as it's not the first movie. It ain't that bad, at least in my opinion. But again, for the cast, you have Nicolas Cage returning as trying to play Ghost Rider, as a motorcycle stuntman, who's also the demon lord, the devil to save his father from cancer. Because Spirit Avengers, becoming the Ghost Rider. Ludin Christian Lecter plays a young Shannon plays Matt Long, who did a really good job in the first movie, by the way, was going to play him, but that didn't happen. Johnny Whitworth as Ray Cargan, Blackout. He's a mercenary, a drug dealer, and a gun runner turned to Blackout by the devil to complete his job. It gives him the forte and supernatural abilities complete with Ghost Rider. His powers are completely unlike those of the comic book character. When he you feel like you're in a dark black place or in the dark, and when he touches you, he can incinerate you or evaporate you basically. Like he touches you, you're gonna die basically. Seems like a cool villain in the comics, but they don't do nothing with him here. Oh, and the actor who plays him. Oh yeah, like I said, Happy Birthday, Nicolas Cage. Now I do like the Family Man. He's good in that, and I love Con Air. I love The Rock. Cage is great in those movies. Yeah, I still hate Kick Ass. That was another superhero movie did, and I like the National Treasure films. National Treasure films. But Kick Ass as Big Dad, he was awesome, but still he had nothing new in that movie, and he was killed off, so he's completely wasted in that movie. And I don't mean drunk. I mean wasted because they killed him off. But of course he voiced Spider-Man Norman Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, which is cool. At least he went back with Marvel and made a better movie in 2018. Face Off, which I never seen, but he's done quite a bit of movies. Sometimes Nicolas Cage can be over the top and overham it. Sometimes I'm from, but in this movie, I did. Yeah, I'll get to that performance of his in this movie later. Johnny Whitworth, he did The Rainmaker, Limitless. I don't know too many films that he's done. Let's see. Fergus Roden as Danny Kitch, who will be, I guess, the second Ghost Rider, a third Marvel character to don the identity of Ghost Rider. A young child caught up in monstrous conspiracy who ends up in the care of Johnny Blaze during his travels, who the devil wants him, yada yada yada. Not going to get into all that yet. Current Hands as Rourke the devil. Sorry, Hands, I maybe seen him in something. Let's see, Some of All Fears. He was in that. I don't think I've seen that. Road to Perdition. Yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta go. Peter Fonda was better. Bella Pledge as Nadia, Danny's mother, and Ray's ex-girlfriend, who helps trying to stop the devil from taking over Danny's body. Beautiful looking woman, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, oh, she's an Italian actress. I can only say she was in the American with George Clooney, but I've never seen that movie. Idris Elba plays Mora, Ma- Myron, or Mormon, whatever his name is. A French member of a secret religious organization. He joins forces with Johnny, offers to, give him his soul back. Idris Elba's been in another movie too, like Obsessed with Beyonce, Pacific Rim, Star Trek Beyond, playing a villain in that, Molly's Game, Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. His character's kind of like Superman in that movie, and he was Heimdall in the Thor. Yeah, and he was some in the Avengers movies too, and the Thor sequels too. Yeah, Christopher Lambert as Methodist, a monk. Christopher Lambert, you probably should know him from Highlander 1 and 2 in Highlander series as Connor McLeod, which I watched Highlander 2. Highlander 2 is a better sequel than this. Anthony has Benedict, who's like a senior monk in the film. He's in Sweeney Todd. That was with Johnny Depp and directed by Tim Burton. Jay Coleman as the character in the movie. Vincent Reagan. He was in Troy, Vendetta, Top Dog, and Aquaman Lost Kingdom, playing a king in that. Spencer Welling as Crank. Oh yeah, he was a Shadow Warrior in Batman Begins. He was in Harry Potter and he was in Green Lantern. Kilowog motion capture. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, he was in that as a mean guard. A-Man Black International, Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw as well. And that's it for your cast. And the film is directed by Nebula Taylor. They directed the Crane films. That is with the that's with the Jason Statham. Oh, and they were the and these two wrote the script for Jonah Hex. Yay! And then in the story, you got three other writers. You got Scott M. Kimball, who's worked on the Walking Dead series, and this is the only movie he ever did was this one. So I guess this movie was so bad, tarnished that career. So I guess he's only worked on the Walking Dead TV shows. One movie, dude, your career's halfway done. And David S. Goyer, like I said, who first of all he wrote like the Death Warrant. That was with the Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kickboxer 2, which Jean-Claude Van Damme. Kickboxer 2 was a decent sequel, I think. He wrote the Crow City of Angels as well. It's alright, you know. I think that's a decent film, you know. And he also wrote the script for Blade 2, which I love Blade 2, and the first Blade, I believe, too. They won't say here, but he did write Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Came out the same year as Blade, but it wasn't a big hit. It was more like a TV movie with David Hasselhoff playing Nick Fury. And Blade Trinity, which he directed. Oh my god, that film was awful. Yeah, and he wrote the scripts for Batman Begins and The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, which I hate that film too. And Man of Steel, I like that movie. Sue me, you know. But that's because I do like Zack Snyder how he directed Man of Steel, but that's just my opinion. Okay. Oh, and he wrote the script for Terminator: Dark Fate and Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, and those were not good movies. I do like Man of Steel. I will defend that movie, but that's about it. Story by David is by David Story 2. Special Johnny Blaze created by Roy Thomas, Gary Friedrich, Mike Fulch. You got Avery Alvarez, a producer on the movie. He has been producing Marvel movies since the first one that was successful. That was Blade 1998. And of course, after Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, he would go on to the Amazing Spider-Man films, and and Venom movies, and some more Spider-Man stuff. And most recently, Craven the Hunter. Yeah, he's a producer on that as well. Stephen Paul, who is also a producer, produced movies like Baby Genius. That movie was not good. Super Babies, Baby Genius 2, even worse. Yeah, yeah. And Michael DeLuca, that's his name right. He's an executive producer on The Mask with Jim Carrey. Okay. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, Dark City, Lost in Space, the 1980. Oh yeah, did not like that movie. It was with the French Matt LeBlanc and Blade 1980, but he's on credit. And Pleasantville, which I love Pleasantville. Not a fan of Little Nicky. I love Rush Hour 2. That's always been my favorite Rush Hour movie. I Am Sam. That's a good movie. Blade 2. I love Blade 2. Blade 2 is better than this because it's rated R and it has a better story too. So as a producer on shows the Space Fisher, the first Ghost Rider, The Social Network, Fright Night, the remake from 2011, and Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks, and the 50 Shades of Grey movies, which I never really want to watch those movies, but that's just me. And Ashoko, I can't say his name right. I'm gonna butcher it to death. I'm sorry. Bloodstone, he wrote that. He was a producer on that. Invisible Mom, Jungle Boy, I think. Yeah, not too many movies. Premonition? Okay, that movie was with the Central Village Man. I gotta watch it again. I think I've seen that movie one time. I remember liking that. Bringing Down the House and Prey. Okay. Cinematography by Brandon Trust. Oh my god, the cinematography in this film was terrible. Let's see, what other films did he work on? He would go on, let's see, well before Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, let's see. Now that I'm seeing, okay. That's My Boy, the M Channel, that's a terrible movie. Good cinematography though in that movie, but it's still a terrible movie. The Interview, This is the End, working with Neighbors, working with Seth Rogen. Scout Scout of the Zombie Apocalypse, Neighbors 2, and he did the cinematography for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and recently last year Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which came out in December of last year, last month, I mean. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, despite that problem in the wedding scene, that has some beautiful cinematography in it, and the editing, Brian Burdern, can't say his name right. Edited films like Night in the City, Heaven and Earth, Natural Born Killers, Nixon, Crank. So he's worked with the directors before. Twin Peaks movie, The 13th Year. Oh yeah, that was a Disney Channel movie. Okay. Blue Velvet. Music is by David Suttery, which I don't really remember the music score to this. He did the music for Zombieland, and 21 Jump Street, which came out the same year as this. That's a better movie because that film's rated R, and that's really entertaining. Sabotage, which sucks. That's what wrong with that movie. That movie thinks sucks. And The Beekeeper. Been wanting to see that. Got to watch. I think I got it on Prime Video. But anyway, production companies are Marvel Entertainment, Crystal Sky Pictures, Hyde Park Entertainment, Imagine Abu Duba, distributed by Columbia Pictures. It was released December 11th, 2011 at a Button Thumb. I guess it was like some special screening. But like I said, it got a worldwide release on February 17th, 2012 here in the US. So that's what I'm counting as a 2012 review. Because this is America and it came out here in the US in that time. It's 95 minutes long, about 1 hour and 36 minutes long. The budget was $57 million. Box was made 149 sequel, $149.4 million worldwide. So I would say, to me, it seems like it flopped. Yeah, it didn't barely make any money. Seems like I'm going with 132 because I don't think it barely made any money. I guess it's just speculating, but yeah, I guess Cage was done. Good. Thank the Lord he was done. Because I'm sorry, if they would have kept on going with Ghost Rider, they made it more worse. And first movie was more successful and had under $10 million budget. And that movie had a budget. Yeah, come on, I've seen films that maybe have a lower budget than $57 million that can look good. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, the story of the movie of Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Water. Bunch of minutes in. Okay. All right, I'm just looking at the time too. Cause I got things to do and I gotta be at work tomorrow at 8 in the morning. So anyway, the story of the movie is that Johnny Blaze is now hiding out in Eastern Europe. Is now hiding out in Eastern Europe. He's still struggling with the curse of the Ghost Rider, the Devil's Bounty Hunter. Johnny meets a priest named Monroe, played by Idris Elba, who asks John to find a boy named Danny and bring him back. But there's a catch. Satan is looking for the boy too, and has a personal stake in the matter. Because like he's the devil's son, Danny could be the Antichrist. But if Johnny can find Danny first and save the boy's soul, there's a chance Johnny can save his own soul as well and get rid of his curse as the Ghost Rider. And that's the story for years of the film, yes. That's the best they can come up with for their sequel, I guess. So I'll talk about the movie itself. Yeah. And it possibly rid himself of the curse of the Ghost Rider forever. But if I can try to wrap my brain around this, because I fell asleep through most of this movie, because it's boring. It's boring as hell. The director's that when you see the trailer for this movie, he's like, I hope you enjoy the hell out of it. I'm like, no. More like you bored the hell out of people, or or make them feel like they're in hell while watching this movie. But anyway, hell's not a good place to be. I don't like talking like that. But anyway, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna like that word anyway, and I don't like that place either. But I'm not gonna get into all that right now. Anyway, the film opens up with Idris Elba going to this church, and his character's Monroe, or whatever, and he's telling them that they need to find the boy Danny. And Nadia, she was a young gypsy wanting a lifestyle. She hooked up with Ray Cargan, who's a gun and drug runner. But this goes bad. But as she's dying, the devil, as the form of Rourke, the devil, arrives and makes her a deal. He will restore her body if she agrees to provide him with a son. And of course, she agrees. He touches her stomach, gives her a baby, impregnates her. Then 13 years later, his name is Danny, and pretty much the devil needs him because he needs a new body that can actually contain the power. Danny is that half body, and he hires Ray Kurgan, to track her down. But anyway, before any of that happens, that Nettie and Danny are this church sanctuary or whatever, and Asia was like, "Look, we need to get them out of here. They're not safe. We need to bring them to the monks." He's talking about Christopher Lambert, you know, and he's like, "This is conversation." And all of a sudden, Ray Cargan and his men show up. They kill the priest, and Idris Elba's trying to help Nadia, and she shoots at him. I'm like, she's about to get shot, and he saves her. Why would you shoot him, you dumb bitch? He's trying to save you. He just saved your ass. If he's trying to, but he's trying to stop them, and Idris Elba does this jump off the cliff, like, rah, 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 rah. He's just a normal guy, but he lives because he falls on a tree and survives. And yeah, you figure he'd be hurt or dead, but no, he's fine. But then, you get the opening with Johnny Blaze saying dialogue because David S. Goyer is such a stupid ass writer. You can't tell a damn story. Has to feel like we have to explain and recap on the first movie. We've seen the first movie. Yeah. I'm sure many people watching this video, you've probably seen the first Ghost Rider movie and the sequel. Yeah. I don't need a recap. Yeah. I've seen it, been there, done that. Yeah. So basically, it was up with Johnny Blaze saying the child was saying, "It doesn't matter how far you run. There are some demons you just can't escape. My name is Johnny Blaze. I used to ride a motorcycle for a living. I did a bare ass 360 triple backflip in front of 22,000 people. It's kind of funny. It's on YouTube. Check it out." That was just some stupid. It's on YouTube. Check it out. Stupid dialogue. But when my dad got sick, I did something way crazier than that. Yeah, that's right. I'm the guy who made a deal with the devil. Now I know what you're thinking. Does this kid ever watch movies? Does this ever work out fine? Well, let's just say good judgment wasn't exactly my forte. I was possessed by an ancient demon as the presence of evil called Ghost Rider. I changed into a monster, and I prey on the wicked, and I suck out their souls. And you don't want to be around when that happens. See, there's good and bad in all of us. And maybe you're not a murderer, but you did something that you didn't want the writer to see. A white lie, an illegal download. What about you and you? I've tried to fight it and hold back, but the darkness inside me only gets stronger. That's why I had to run halfway across the world, and I'm still running. I'm like, which he didn't really need to run anyway. At least go fight evil and stop bad guys. I mean, what's the whole point of the first movie when he tells Peter Fonda, mm, you know, I'm gonna take this curse. I'm gonna take this curse and I'm gonna use it against you. He's gonna fight for good. And then he's saying, "You can't live in fear." Well, apparently he's living in fear. That's why he's running. What was the whole point? I can't live in fear. You can't live in fear. I'm like, apparently that doesn't matter. Did David S. Goyer watch the first movie? No, apparently not. I mean, yeah. Like I said, the first Ghost Rider has issues, but at least the whole thing with the 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 contract of having Gaza made more sense, and it was an origin story for Johnny Blaze. Yeah, I thought it was actually a good origin story, despite I didn't care about the love story of Roxanne, but it was a good story, you know. And it takes away that his dad just dies of cancer. No, the devil took the cancer away, but he got into the car wreck, got into a motorcycle wreck when he was doing a stunt. Yeah. But anyway, you see Johnny Blaze just laying down. He's in Europe, and somehow he tracks him down. Idris Elba saying that he jumped from the cliff. And apparently, like I said, last time he saw him in the first half of the movie, he jumps off a cliff. He survives that. Falls in a tree. Stupid. Johnny Blaze takes like, I don't help people. I'm like, even though the first movie you said you would use the curse against them and I guess do some good for people, but apparently, you don't want to do that now. I don't help people. That boy, it's not my problem. He's like, well, I can help you lift your curse. He was the writer can track him down, and he goes with him or whatever somewhere, and they go to like a church or whatever, and Johnny Blaze goes crazy and starts. turn into Ghost Rider. And when Kurgan eventually tracks her down because her and Nada and Danny, she flirts with this old guy, and Danny's able to pickpocket him. They steal money, and Kurgan's watching them, tracks them down. They're gonna shoot them. It's like this. I'm the guy tracking you down, bitch. Yeah. Uh, it becomes nighttime. He breaks into the battle. He goes onto the bike. You know, the boy gets captured by Kurgan, and then he's rescued by the rider. Uh, Kurgan in his van, they're getting but Ghost Rider shows up. When they got Nadia captured, and Ghost Rider just stands around, shakes his head a little bit, and they try to shoot at him. Ghost Rider, hits him. When he hits him, it's kind of cool, but it's not regular enough. It's just bad CGI. Like, even though Blade Trinity, when a vampire gets killed, okay, it's rated R, but it's bad CGI. Like, this movie is awful CGI. And like I said, this is what the Rider looks like in the movie. This is what Ghost Rider looks like. I thought it looked all terrible. He's just standing there. And the Ghost Rider's dialogue is annoying too. I like the way the Ghost Rider talks in the first movie. The voice is cool and there's some funny moments. Like, or you're pissing me off. And here, he says something like light or drunk or roadkill, you know. But Ghost Rider grabs one guy and does the pendant share. And the pendant share was pretty scary in the first movie. Like, you can see the evil they ever did. But they don't show that in this movie. He just looks at the guy and he goes, you but Ghost Rider kills some guy, Danny Corrigan. I mean, Corrigan gets away. One of his men. Uh, Johnny gets shot as the Ghost Rider or something like that, or something happens. He passes out. They think he's in the hospital. He's not. He just sees her and follows her, and she points a gun. He's like, "What do you want? You gonna try to kill me? You know what you are?" I was like, "I'm not evil. I'm just trying to help you." And they drive, and again, this kid just rapping off like he's drunk in the movie, and he says, "Now you've done some evil things too, naughty guy. No, you know." Because he can feel that rider, that evilness coming in when it hits nighttime. That's when he becomes a rider. They attack this guy who knows where Ray Kurgan, where Kurgan can be. And this is a scene where his acting is just over the top. The first one, it's over the top as well, but it could be funny. You know, but in this movie, it's just terrible as well, with awful dialogue from him, like he's gripping at the door, he's gripping at the door, gripping at the door. You know, and here's you know, but he grips at the door. Ghost Rider comes out again. Fights his men again. This time he gets on a crane, turns on the fire, and he thinks that he transforms into he touch the fire, whatever. By touching anything he wants to touch, whatever. And Gargan is able to use like a shoot like a missile Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider does this again. Okay, in the first movie, when he's fighting Blackheart and his team, he doesn't stand around. Ghost Rider kicks their ass. Ghost Rider is like, hey, dirtbag, and then, grabs them. He's like, help! And then trains him, kills him, by turning him into ash real quick. And the one that can send him in air, and then he kills Blackheart in a badass way. In this movie, it's just laughable. Ghost Rider's like, you know, like he's on the bed or something doing this. You know, I'm like, what the hell is this? Stupid. And he shoots. And yeah, oh yeah, because the first time he fought Carl Gogan, is when they just like shoot guns at him, and he gets his ass knocked down. I'm like, yeah, Ghost Rider gets hit by a truck, and then knocks out Demon. Say, hey, dirtbag, gives him a badass punch. But this Ghost Rider just gets down like a bitch, and then will just do things, you know, like that. And anyway, he does say, Carter's like, did that hurt? Did that hurt? Or something like that. I don't know. Did that feel painful? Ghost Rider picks him up like this. Ghost Rider says, did that hurt? Does that feel painful? And he sees the Nadia trying to run. Nadia kills one of the guys, by the way. She throws a knife at him. And the guy just smiles, wasn't she? Shoots him like, dumbass. Did you not realize you got a knife? She just threw at you and she had a gun. Did you not realize? Yeah, and she shoots the idiot dead. Runs away. Ghost Rider sees it, pushes Cargan, and Cargan falls to his death. And Rourke, he calls Rourke about Ghost Rider. And he says just avoid him. And he speaks to Danny on the phone because he got Danny. I forgot to mention, yeah, he captured Danny. I forgot to mention that. Danny wants to, when Danny just is able to overcome it. I guess he's got the power of devil, you could say, but like his strength. He's like, you know, he's about to kill Danny. Gonna attack him on this river. He's like, is that your truck? You know, and they steal the guy's truck, whatever. Anyway, Kurgan is knocked out. Ghost Rider attacks Nadia. He's about to kill her, but he's like, Ghost Rider, stop, let her go. And he turns back to Johnny, and they go to like a gas station, or he's, you know, just to drink water, about a gallon of water. And I do like one bit of style, like what Johnny says to Danny. We might have, or they just talk and bond a little bit. And it's like, oh, it's the son that he could have had, but he's telling Danny that, our powers must come from a dark place, but we can use it for good. Kind of like that. And he jokes around them, like, he's like, could you use it on a motorcycle, a Ferris wheel, whatever, I don't remember. He's like, I get, you take a piss? Like, yes, he goes, distribution, he goes, and he has Danny sees imagine of the Ghost Rider pissing, and I'm like, yeah, because that's what I'm seeing a Ghost Rider. I want to imagine Ghost Rider taking a piss, yeah, mm-hmm, yeah. But Kurgan comes, gets killed. He's like, he tells Rick, I'm dead, asshole. I'm sorry, I'm dead, I'm sorry. And he touches him, and he turns him into blackout. And he tests this power. He's like, I'm giving you great power. And he just, he takes this ambulance truck. To the guy that does ambulance, the guy that drives ambulance. Like I said, it's like pitch black dark when he runs into you. When he touches you, he incinerate you. Like you're pretty much dead. When he touches you. He's like, finish the job. And he does. And you see Gordon try to eat a sandwich, but the bread disintegrates. Tries to eat or what do you call it, an apple. Then he eats a Twinkie, just puts a one in his mouth. And they meet Christopher Lambert as one of the monks to protect him. And this ain't a bad place. Yeah, sure. And then John's like, I'll promise you never get hurt. And it's like, go make our deal between us. Danny's like, whatever. Like you lie to me. And they remove the Ghost Rider from Demon. He tells, I'll admit, the decent performance he gives out here is that he tells him about his father, but I don't really feel bad. But in this case, seems like when he's calm in a demeanor, not being over the top. But again, he says, "Oh, I did it for me." I'm like, "No, you did it for your dad. The first movie was like this. He's like this. You didn't do it for you, Johnny. You didn't do it for yourself. You didn't do it for selfish reason. You did it for love. And that puts the power of God on your side, son. That's what Sam Miller says in the first movie. This movie's like, oh, I did it for me because I was selfish because I let him go. I'm like, no, Johnny, you were a kid. You were a teenager. You couldn't understand that. You were a kid. And you weren't being selfish. You did it out of love. You wanted to save your dad because you loved him. And the devil used that love against you. You did it for love. You didn't do it for selfish reasons, idiot. And I don't blame Nicolas Cage for saying this dialogue and being over top. It's probably David is scoring the writers that wrote this crap. Mm. And he, gets locked in the tomb, kind of like Jesus was when where Jesus was resurrected in 3 days. Yes, he was. I believe in it. That's just me. But I'm not getting into that. You know. And he's like, thank you. It's like Kurgan and Crystal Lambert grabs him, and they're gonna go kill him because they think he's evil. They're gonna just get them out of the way. They all try to lock them. They lock Idris Elba, Nadia up, and Johnny. They lock them up somewhere, I guess. And it's a big old monastery, so Lord knows where they put them at and lock them up at. We don't see them. They just see that they're gonna try to. Crystal Lambert's trying to use a sword. Why would he have to practice sword fighting? He doesn't barely sword fight. And Christopher Lambert, the guy who was Connor McLeod in Highlander, Immortal, gets killed off pretty easily. I mean, he tries to fight Blackheart. Blackheart's like, you know, kills him easily. So Christopher Lambert's useless. Why couldn't he play the devil? That would have been cool. I think he would have done a great job in having a sword, fighting Johnny Blaze. It could have been, who knows what could have been. I mean, that could have been cool. Christopher Lambert playing the devil. I would have seen it better than the actor who plays him, and his face is messed up. It's like this. Face is halfway messed up. Which doesn't make sense because Peter Fonda's not like that. Oh, but he's trapped on, he's trapped on Earth. He can go to hell anytime he wants to, I guess. Whatever. But that doesn't happen to Peter Fonda. But again, the script is so bad. But Johnny can't do nothing now, and she's like, "You happy you got what you wanted?" And Danny's trapped, and I'm sorry. It's like, well, both of you made a deal with the devil. Well, we're all just gonna have to work together now. They drink some wine. He's a priest that has wine and guns. Oh, he also tells him that this demon's name is Sithorus. He was an angel, spirit just sent to protect man, but he was taken to hell. Brought to the mission of protecting innocent turned into punishment. The guilty, he turned to the devil's spirit of vengeance. But the monks rid Johnny of the rider. Blackout ties him up on a gurney, and he says, "Yeah, well, to war, the devil." Says, "What happened to your face?" This ceremony begins, but the put broke soul in Danny's body begins. I mean that it means in the earth. Johnny, Myra, Nadia go to stop work. Blackout kills Mona at will. He tries in here, but he gets killed off because Blackout grabs him and kills him. He just like headbutt him, and that's the end of his character. And he's on Johnny Blaze like this. I'm gonna kill him, slowly decaying him. And apparently, the devil Rourke didn't think twice, saying that you have his powers and you made the right that he could do the same thing. Yeah. And he's like, he thinks, well, stop him for a minute. Don't stop him because he's going to turn into the writer. The good. Rourke's just like, you have the same powers as me. But then he doesn't do that. And then he jumps and then puts fire in his mouth and Johnny's mouth and he turns back to the writer. Short, you know, because it's getting sun, but I guess the writer apparently Ghost Rider can only work at night, but he's in during the day. And like I said, the editing is very terrible, very shaky, 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 shaky. The whole film is bouncing like that. The whole freaking movie is like that for 1 hour and 36 minutes. For those 95 minutes in the film, that's why you get a whole shaky cam movie, a whole badly edited movie. But Ghost Rider chases him down. He knocks some guys out, drives a truck. Blackout's trying to attack Nadia, trying to kill her. But Ghost Rider him fights, crappy looking fights, bad CGI. He almost kills Ghost Rider by choking him. But Ghost Rider grabs him and turns back into himself. Well, his business there, and Blackout dies, and he's able to stop the devil. Like using the chain or whatever. And one cool line I made, the devil says, "Worst fucking deal I ever made." And Ghost Rider throws him up with the chains like, "Go back home." Throws him back home. Ghost Rider says he's not a Santa. Ghost Rider's just standing looking at her. And then goes right to Danny, picks Danny up, and he feels the angel, the third angel, hands glow with the blue fire as the angel. Versus the boy Johnny rides into the night. He's like, "I'm ready. Hell yeah!" And he rides to the spirit of vengeance, but as the spirit of justice, with him blue now. And then the movie ends there. So that's Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance for you. Now, let me get my final opinion on this movie. But again, this is definitely, in my opinion, one of the worst sequels ever made. One of the worst Marvel movies ever. This film. Hold on, guys. Give me a minute. Excuse me. I think I might need to plug up my phone. I'm sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yeah. Like I said, the sequel, it is terrible. Yeah. Well, I think it's terrible. Well, for one, it's just boring. First of all, the problem with the film is the story. I didn't care that. Oh, well, he's running, and why is he gonna run away? He can't. You say he can't live in fear. It seems like he's gonna do some good from fighting. Why not have him go after some bad guys? Which I did want to see Ghost Rider fight bad guys, but the thing is with the sequel, it's terribly done. You know, the story sucks. The story is just lame and it's boring. I didn't care about Danny. Oh, he's a character from the comic books, so let's use this character from the comics, which I did not care about. Sorry. But I didn't care about Danny. I didn't care about Nadia. The actress is pretty that plays her. I like her more than Evan Men's, but still, it's a bad script. You know, and the film is boring. The story is boring. The two directors, I'm sorry, they did a terrible job directing this movie. I can't think of a movie they did that I like. Let's see. Probably. I've never seen the Crank movies, but they were the writers on Jonah Hex. So I'm like, and you give him a chance to do another superhero movie. I blame Avi Edward too because he probably, the biggest problem with the movie that it is PG-13. Ghost Rider is an anti-hero. He should be rated R. There should be some blood. There is no blood and gore here. Yeah, bad guys die, but it's the CGI is terrible. The screenplay, you have three writers on this film. David scores one of them, and they just do a terrible job. The story is mainly by David Escobar, who I guess wrote the story of this film, and the dialogue. Ghost Rider's voice sounds laughable. He looks terrible as well. He's better than the first movie. In the first movie, I used to say he looked like a cartoon. I'm sorry. You know what? Ghost Rider looks like a badass in the first movie. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of action, but like when the black chase, at least that was well shot. I thought that was a well shot scene and him flicking them off. That was cool. That was funny. That movie has some entertaining moments in it. This did not. The first Ghost Rider did not bore me. This put me to sleep. The story was boring. The editing is terrible. It's just very shaky cam, and the acting is terrible. Nicolas Cage is so tough. He's been at the door, like, and then he's on you Corey Hines, well, the lady, she was all right. Johnny Whitworth, he tries. He's doing his best here. Play Blackout. Blackout's really cool film, but he's useless and dies in a stupid way. He dies within like what, I think like 5 minutes or 5 to 10 seconds, whatever. I don't remember. Idris Elba just dies, and Christopher Lambert, is a great actor, is wasted here. He dies in a stupid way. Yeah, and the guy who plays Devil, he did a terrible job. Yeah, and I didn't care about the play Danny. He was annoying half the time, and I thought his acting was just bad. Cinematography, the editing, the music score, I don't remember. I remember the first movie's music score. It was actually pretty good. Pretty much fit the tone of the character. It just needed more work. You didn't need a love story. And here you didn't need him trying to save a boy and, you know, have a father son moment with him. They tried to do that in here. And it just falls flat in the face. I just didn't care. I'm just at the point now, I just did not give a crap. Uh, in 95 minutes, the film's around 36 minutes, but it's boring. I thought the pacing was a bit slow in parts. It just kind of bored me. The editing is so bad. I don't know where I'm at in the film. It's just you just blink for a second, you will miss anything that goes on in the movie. You are watching scenes, and the editing can go by really fast, quick editing, and you're gonna miss what's happening. And I guess maybe ever because yeah, The Dark Knight Rises came out the same year by the way, and that film sucks as well. It's way too long and boring. You know, but this film sucks mainly because it is boring. It just has awful CGI. Ghost Rider looks like shit. I freaking hate this movie. One of the worst Marvel movies ever, worst superhero films ever made. One of the worst movies ever I've ever seen. What I did like about it, okay. I mean, Ghost Rider, the whole thing with him turning the crane, the bull, kind of like the bulldozer crane into fire, that was pretty decently cool, but bad CGI. Yeah, and I like Blackout. Blackout looked cool, and I demand some dialogue from him a little bit. But Ghost Rider's dialogue, Roadkill, that was laugh at that. Stupid dialogue. I can't think of anything I like in this movie. Idris Elba, the actress lady from Palocto, Christopher Lambert. I liked him and I liked the show. They're just useless. They die. And Valentino Puddle, Maria Valanto Polacco. I can't say her name right. Like I said, an Italian actress. She looks pretty beautiful, and pretty in this movie. But there's only three actors that try to get care, try their best with the performances. But it's the script and writing that It's one thing I Nicolas Cage, part of him does try, then he does not perform when he's calm in the demeanor, not being over the top and yelling, saying, "Ripping at the floor." When he's not being over top and silly or screaming crazy. Yeah, when he's more calm, he's trying. But in this film, he just falls flat on his ass, though. The dialogue falls flat for him, and the film's boring. And I'm gonna give this film, I can't no more say, but shitty sequel. I can't really, man. It's not going on this shelf. No, not on my movie shelf. No, sir. Reebok. But anyway, my rating for Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance is I'm gonna give this film a thumbs down. My rating for this film is 1 out of 5 stars. Because again, I like the actress in here. She's better than Eva Mendes. She just needed a better script. And I like Christopher Lambert, Johnny Withworth. I didn't mind Idris Elba. But some of those cast members try. Yeah, and you make it's directed by Mark Neville and Brian Taylor, like I said, who directed Jonah Hex. Remember Jonah Hex, which flopped at the box office, and ABF, I blame him too. I think they wanted to make it PG-13 because The Dark Knight. They probably thinking, well, this movie's gonna make $1 billion. Yeah, so let's make it PG-13. Probably just to get audiences to sit their butts in theaters and make money, so they can get your money. That's why. Because they think if it's PG-13, it'll make more money. Ghost Rider is an anti-hero, and in a way, the first movie's like a horror movie. Ghost Rider is an anti-hero that kills viciously with his chain. He kills that defensive scare. It's like watching a horror movie in the first movie. Yeah, it's supposed to scare you. It's supposed to be scary. He's not Superman. You do not PG-13. It's like making the Punisher PG-13. It doesn't work. That's the only Marvel character I'm thinking about. Yeah, Blade. You can't make Blade PG-13. It won't work. Spawn should never been PG-13 either. You cannot PG-13 these type of anti-hero characters, or even Catwoman. Catwoman should have a rated R movie. You cannot, because she's an anti-hero. You cannot make these characters. Catwoman 2000, which I reviewed today. That's a short film that has some blood in it, and that was entertaining to watch. Even a little bit of nudity in it. And when Catwoman scratches, you see the blood. Yeah, that's what I like about DC animated movies because they can show blood and stuff. They don't hold back because Avi ever was back. I think he's just more concerned about making them paycheck. Because again, the MCU was at the time. They're probably thinking since Iron Man, that you had 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies came out. Captain America, the first Avenger, which is PG-13, and these in Iron Man 2, Thor, the Incredible Hulk. Well, Incredible Hulk still made a whole money. It made money, just not a whole lot of money. But the other ones did. They're probably thinking, well, let's make it PG-13 because it appeal to more younger audiences. Probably trying, to make more money because that's what they're thinking. Some characters, like Ghost Rider, Anti-Hero, or Blade, you can't make them PG-13. It won't work. Yeah. Blade Trinity is rated R, but you know what? It still sucks. I'm not saying the film has to be rated R to be good. It has to be good because it has to have a good story and good characters and a character I'm invested in, and not be so badly over the top, cringeworthy, and just bad editing and a bad story. And that's what this film is terrible. So my rating for this film is 1 out of 5 stars, and a thumbs down. So goodbye. Good rest of your visits. Yeah. All right, guys. Stay tuned for our next review. Maybe I'll read tomorrow. I got like 2 o'clock at work tomorrow. She's at time. This film is about 77 minutes long, and it's a DC Universe animated original movie. I definitely look forward to reviewing this movie. I remember enjoying this movie a lot more than this one. And my next review is Justice League Doom. Probably my favorite Justice League movie. But Justice League Doom, this will be next, so stay tuned for that. Oh, you got a great voice cast. You got Kevin Conroy, Tim Daly, Susan Eisenberg, Nathan Fillion, Michael Rosenbaum, Carl Lumbly. You got a really great voice cast in this film. I think some of that come back from the Justice League TV series as well. Well, except George Newmar, but Tim Daly, even awesome. So, really great movie. I remember enjoying this, so I definitely look forward. So, guys, stay tuned for my review of Justice League Doom. Leave the comments down below. What do you think of Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And do you think the first movie's better? Even if you think the first movie's like, man, not good, but trust me, if you watch the first movie, it is a lot better than this. Trust me. But tell me, guys, what do you think of this movie in the comments down below? And remember, there were spoilers in here, so I hope you didn't stay and watch the whole video. But anyway, Justice League Doom, another DC anime original movie. This will be next. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'll see you in my review of this. Have a good night or a good day wherever you're at. So, Justice League Doom is next. So stay tuned for that. I can't wait to review this one. Awesome movie. A lot better than this. But anyway, guys, stay tuned for that. And then I will have more 2012. Then two more 2012 movies. I'll just go ahead and show it off. It'll be the Avengers Revisit review after Justice League Doom, and The Amazing Spider-Man, which I feel is an underrated movie, but maybe my opinion will change on that. I did change on Ghost Rider, so I don't know, folks. But go The Amazing Spider-Man. This will be my last 2012 review. Remember, I reviewed um, Superman vs. the Elite, The Dark Knight Rises, and Dark Knight Returns Part 1. I reviewed those on my other channel, and I will share them on the Super Reviews playlist. They came out in 2012, but you won't see that till later. Then we'll get to the 2015 ones. I'll go and show you real quick. Just one movie, and that'll be Revisit Re for Iron Man 3. Yeah, yep. When I start with the year 2013. Alright, guys. That's all the update I'm giving you. Stay tuned for more community posts as well, as I do that as well. And thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about Ghost Rider Experience. Finish down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you liked it, that's cool. We can agree to disagree. And I think the first movie's better. I think the first movie, basically, this movie, Ghost Rider Experience, makes the first Ghost Rider movie like a masterpiece. This is my opinion. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.